guys, what is up? CC Clemens, Rapping Weirdo. Hello.
Hello, growth check.
I just got a retwist yesterday, and I don't know how to act. Look at the growth, y'all. It's coming in. It's coming in. No one cares. All right. February 2022 movies recap, review, whatever you want to call it. Yes, sir. January was dry for me. I was pretty depressed about it, as you could see on my January movie recaps. We're going to do better on that. But February was great. I think almost every week there was like a new movie that came out. There was something for me to watch every week. So I'm just going to go over it. No spoilers. Just ahead. Some people haven't watched these movies. We're working on that. What are you doing?
Shame.
And why are you doing it? Do better. So the movies I watched: Jackass Forever, Moonfall, Death on the Nile, Blacklight, Uncharted, and Studio 666. I watched that the other day. So those were the movies I watched this month. Some of you guys are probably like, whoa, you're crazy.
I am. I'm a movie crackhead. It is what it is.
There were some other movies that came out, like Marry Me and Dog with Channing Tatum, and Marry Me had Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson in it. But I wasn't feeling those vibes. And I'm not going to put myself to the torture of watching movies I don't want to watch until I start getting paid for it. It will come eventually. No, but yeah, I didn't watch those two because I just didn't want to. If I should, if they're like really good, someone else has watched it, let me know in the comments. February was a great month for me. It's paradise for me. But I'll say February felt like a month of movies that were too long. The runtime for most movies now is about 2 hours, so 1 hour, 50 minutes, somewhere around that time frame. And I feel like some of these movies could have been like an hour, 30 minutes, including the ending credits as well. But yeah, if I'm watching a movie and I catch myself checking my watch, like to see like where we at on this, it's probably a little bit longer than it should be. Some of them should have been long. My attention span was just like not there, but I'll go over that with you guys. So the first movie I watched, February 4th. Why am I telling y'all the dates? Who cares? Jackass Forever. Honestly, with Jackass Forever, I've never watched the prior Jackass movies or films. Because when they came out, I was too young and couldn't watch them. And now I've heard of it though. I've seen little clips on like MTV, stuff like that. And I've seen other movies with one of the characters. I think they did Dirty Grandpa. It was some film I watched that was from one of the characters from Jackass. But never watched the Jackass films or movies, whatever. And watching this, I understand why my parents wouldn't let me watch it. Whoa, and what I'm saying, is Jackass. This may not be kid friendly, so no kids should not watch this show. This is not a family movie unless you're okay with your children seeing just butt and penis like flopping everywhere on the screen. If they're okay with that, you're okay with them having that exposure, go for it. It's a family movie, but otherwise it's not. But it was very funny. Like, I watched it just because January was so dry and I really didn't have anything else to watch. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's see what they got. And it was really funny. It was a great movie, honestly. The opening credit scene, I'm not going to go into details, but the way they opened the movie set it off for like the best way possible. It was hilarious. It's a lot of nudity in there. There's this scene where there's a lot of bees on this guy's like private parts. I'm not gonna go into further detail, but if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like these guys are a lot older. You can see the difference, like their hair and their age and all that, body, all that stuff. But it's funny to see like grown men coming together and just being a kid, right? Doing stuff that's stupid, funny, crazy, dangerous. Then have the audacity to tell other people not to do it. So you're just professionally great at hurting yourself and still going to the hospital like anyone else would if they tried it. Okay, it was really good. But some of the pranks in there or some of the dares that they did was just outrageous. But I will say it was funny, and I will definitely be watching that again. Definitely recommend it. Don't watch it with your children because they show it like full on. There's no blurriness, like pure. Like you can see the full. Like everything, booty cheeks, penis, like all of that. It's everywhere. It's flopping. Bees are on it at one point in time. It's out there. So yeah, I'm done talking about that. Definitely recommend it. Hilarious. Second one was Moonfall. So It has Halle Berry and Patrick something. What's his freaking name? I think it was really good. I thought the movie was pretty amazing, just considering the graphics. So, you know, the movie, they're on Earth, right? These people, they are, let's say, astronauts, just to make it cute. There's other terms and stuff to that, but astronauts. The moon is out of orbit. They're trying to figure out why the moon is out of orbit and how to help save the Earth. Because y'all know if the moon, well, some of y'all may not know, but if the moon is out of orbit and, like, shifts and, like we're doomed. We're doomed. We need the moon exactly where it's at in this right orbit. We can't have anything shifting and we're gonna be all messed up, let alone having the moon come down on Earth and like crash. So it's a pretty cool interpretation of like how important, to me, I took it as it shows how important the moon is to us, to Earth, and then like showing the effects of if the moon was out of orbit and if it were to collide with Earth. It just shows you like how it affects oxygen and water tides and things like that, animals, life. It's really cool. I see it get the best reviews, and I know, unfortunately, I had a feeling it's not going to do that well as far as views. There were more people in the Jackass Forever showing than it was at Moonfall. I'll say that. So that speaks volumes. But I thought the movie was amazing, honestly. It has some very comedic moments in there. I don't know the guy's name, but he played in Game of Thrones. He brought a really great comedic feel to it. The story was good, so they're trying to like help find out why the moon is out of orbit and how to fix it. Then they kind of go deep into like the origins of that, which is cool. It kind of helps make things make sense. But I know people always like, this is not realistic and all that. But like, look, it's a fictional movie. I don't want it to be. Sometimes I don't want movies to be realistic. I want to be in make-believe land. I want to escape reality and what's realistic. Like, Spider-Man is a huge hit. Why? Because it's freaking dude slinging with his web from buildings. We can't do that. So yeah, people may have said it's not super accurate with like how things would have been, but I don't care. And the graphics were amazing. I love the graphics. Really good quality. Like everything about it to me was pretty good. So probably not the best movie I've seen, but like definitely a really good movie for sure. All right, the third movie I watched is Death on the Nile. The only reason I watched this movie was because Gal Gadot was in it. Now Gal Gadot, I don't know why I keep doing that. Gal Gadot. She has pronounced it like this, and I watched plenty of interviews because I'm obsessed. Obviously, I was, and better now. And it's Gal Gadot. I don't even think I watched the full trailer. I just saw, oh, she's in it. I'm watching it. When does it come out? That's how it works. But I did end up watching the full trailer, and I was all right. So let me go ahead and check it out. I liked it. I liked the movie. Now, I didn't realize that this was a remake of an older film until after I had watched it. But it was a cute film, right? Gal Gadot couldn't have saved this kind of film. Honestly, she probably brought a lot of people out to watch it. Like me. The story was okay. It was good. So the premise of it is someone ends up dead. There's this detective. He's brought there to like find out who killed said person. Who is the murderer? Who's the culprit? It's kind of like Knives Out. That came out in 2019. I really loved that movie. That was a really good movie. If you watch this and you didn't like it, I will watch Knives Out. Really good. There was some other good cast members in there too, of course. My focus was Gal. The story was a little, like the person I went to the movies with, we ended up figuring it out like pretty early on. Probably like the first 10 to 15 minutes after. And it ended up being that exactly. So kind of the whole results of it kind of like, bruh. And again, this, I don't know, this probably happened exactly in the other film. So maybe it was supposed to be that way. I don't know. But it was like a little predictable. So that part kind of made it a little anticlimactic. The acting, it wasn't the best on all platforms. Some were good, some were bad, but the acting wasn't super. It wasn't super great. It wasn't bussin'. The acting wasn't bussin'. Just on a general basis. But overall, it's a good movie. It's fun, you know. If you want to watch something, I don't know if it's a family movie, but if you want to just watch something to get your mind going and to start thinking about things, you can. Yeah, it'll be fun. Death on Nile was good, but I prefer Knives Out over that. Even though that came out in 2019 and no one really cares, but that's my spill on it. All right, Blacklight. Blacklight has Liam Neeson, and you know how these movies go. He's a good guy. There's a bad guy. They threaten his family or his loved ones. He kicks butt, kills who he needs to kill to make sure they're safe, and that's that. The Blacklight was pretty much the same thing. And I'm not mad at Liam. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But Blacklight's pretty much about this man. He works for this guy that helps people if they, like, there's people that, like, have to kill people, like, for good reasons, right? But then when he finds out that the person he's working for is dirty, we'll say that, then it just makes him question everything, what he's been doing, and hasn't been doing the right thing because he thought he was doing good and representing good. And then his family gets threatened, and then, like, that's where he goes full Liam Neeson mode. So that's the premise of the movie. It was actually pretty good. It wasn't a bad movie at all. The way that the ending kind of wrapped everything up was weird. Like, the way it ended, I was like, it was like wrapped up in like 5 minutes, and it was like bam. I was like, oh, that was what. Okay, cool. Yeah, the acting was good in the movie. The action scenes were awesome. You know, he knows how to. Even though he's as old as he is now, like, he's still able to get down and do these fighting scenes and these roles and stuff. It's cool to still see him in action. So Blacklight was good. I would recommend it if you are looking for, like, a good action movie. It's not, like, mind-blowing or, like, oh my God, but it's good. Yes, Uncharted. They had me at Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. What? What are you talking about? I'm watching it. So I watched it for that. This was the movie, one of the movies I forgot to mention. Death on the Nile, I felt was a little drawn out. Uncharted, I watched that, and it's like a little under 2 hours with commercials. When I saw it, I felt like it could have been like an hour and a half with commercials. That was one of the movies I feel like could have been a little shorter. But after I watched it, I realized that it was a video game. Like, it was creation of a recreation or live action version of a game, a popular game that I had no idea about. And after I realized, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe it should have been longer if that's the case. So understanding that made me think about the whole timing thing differently. Aside from that, I will say that it was a good movie. It was a solid movie. I haven't watched any footage or played the game whatsoever, so I'm hoping that I've heard it's like the #1 movie right now, so I'm hoping it does justice as far as depicting like what was in the game. But if I just look at it from just a movie watching standpoint, not comparing to anything, it was a solid movie. Tom Holland is really funny. It's good to see him step outside of a role like Spider-Man. He's done other films outside of Spider-Man, but this is the first one I've seen after him being in Spider-Man, and he did pretty good. Like, you could tell he has this charisma about him that just works. And hopefully he can continue to do more acting films like this or even better. Mark Wahlberg was good. He added a good comedic element to it. They just had good chemistry. So I really like the movie. What it's about, he is on a quest to find his brother, and Mark Wahlberg used to work with Tom Holland's character's brother, and they're trying to find like this gold. It's like this big treasure mystery to find some gold, and apparently that'll help him find his brother. But the way that they get there with the keys and the way that they like the mystery and figuring out the riddles is really good. It's really fun. And like, I was like, wow, it was really interesting. So a very, very good movie. Highly recommend that one for sure. All right. The last movie I watched was Studio 666. The only reason I watched this movie was because Foo Fighters was in it. So I was like, heck yeah, I'll support Foo Fighters. Studio 666 is pretty much about, Foo Fighters, the group. They get into this house, this abandoned house. He goes there so he can get some inspiration for coming up with a new album, new songs, because after 10 albums or 9 albums, it's just kind of like a drought. Like, what more can you create, right? So he goes there for inspiration, but turns out this house is haunted and has like demons and stuff in there that possesses him, and they just deal with that. So it's like a lot of ghost entities, negative entities, devils, demons, that just like take over and try to hurt him and his band, his friends, all that good stuff. So that's the premise of it. Actually pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was some moments I was like actually laughing out loud. Not but ha caps exclamation mark at the end. I know this one is not gonna do as well in the box office. I could just tell with the crowd. It was only like 2 other people in the theater with me. It could have been more like a more crowded theater, but considering it was like a comedy movie, the way that they like the graphics for the ghosts with the ghosts and the possession and stuff, I was pretty sure, I'm like, this is actually really good quality stuff right here. When you make a scary movie like noticeably like comedy, it just makes it, I don't know, it just makes it better. It sets a better tone for it. It's not as much of a high expectation. So when you see good graphics and stuff, or like things that are actually a little scary, it's like, whoa, okay, this is good. So if you want to watch something that's funny and just to laugh, like that's it. I would recommend that. So yeah, so that is all, you guys. That is my movie recap for February of 2022. If you guys want me to watch some other films or movies and post my reactions to them, just let me know. If you have specific questions and you don't want to spoil it for people, you can hit me up on Instagram, which is cc_Clemens. That's on Instagram. I have Facebook as well, but Instagram is best as far as messaging me. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe button and share if you feel the vibes of this channel. That way we can grow, baby. Let's go. All right. Drink your water. Eat good things. You guys have a great day. Never forget, we must always have this vibe. We shouldn't. That's not a good... That's not a good thing to have, but that's not a good vibe to have. But it's a nice shirt to have. So, all right. Peace.